Hey, hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live but once, but when you're dead, you're done. So let the good times roll. Let the good times roll.
Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Martin and welcome to TripleADigest. And yep, I'm that Mafia guy to most people on YouTube. So get this, we decided to put together a small list of the things we want from a Mafia 4. Now obviously we mentioned previously, Mafia 4 has seemingly been placed aside by 2K Games for now at least. So this video is our small way of saying, hey, we want Mafia 4 and so do thousands of people like us that are fans of the series. And this will be a selection of videos that offer numerous different options. So here's what we want from Mafia 4 Part 1. And in the comments, let us know what you guys want. Number 1, the setting, Las Vegas. So the Las Vegas setting has been discussed among the community, with rumblings from 2K Games that a Mafia 4 will be located in Las Vegas, revolving around a mafia family trying to make it big within the city. And this news came from Kotaku, and it's exactly the direction a future title needs to take, a return to the roots and what makes the series special. Following a mafia family trying to make a name for themselves by running rackets such as casinos and expanding their businesses throughout the city and growing their reputation despite the dangerous circumstances, which derives from detectives and rival families who oppose them. And running rackets in the form of casinos is just a perfect fit for the series, and I personally hope we at least get one future Mafia game in Las Vegas. Number 2, timeline and brief story concepts. So we have 3 suggestions, with the first option being a continuation in the story, so a 1970s Las Vegas that follows a close mob family trying to make it in a crime-filled Las Vegas. Although abandon previous characters and start fresh, I know that's an unpopular opinion as most fans want to see Vito and Joe again, yet I thought Mafia 3 handled their roles badly, and instead of possibly risking or damaging those characters' stories any further, starting anew with fresh characters would be smart and removes the baggage those characters inevitably bring. And the 70s timeline would offer a soundtrack to rival Mafia 3's with the addition of extra weapons and vehicles. The second timeline we have is starting during the late 40s and entering the 50s timeline, following the last year and aftermath of Bugsy Siegel, one of the most infamous and influential gangsters in American history, who was allegedly a vital aspect in regards to the rise of the Las Vegas Strip, alongside having major connections around the city, celebrities, politicians, and other established mob leaders such as Mayor Lansky, and he was strongly linked to Lucky Luciano. So, playing as a character attempting to make it big within Vegas, who is perhaps involved in the mob that was situated in Las Vegas after the first casinos began to function there. And our third option would begin in 1931 and actually will be set elsewhere when the Mafia first started to make a major impact in America and transitioned from having no code, strong arm tactics, and having a boss of bosses to having a somewhat corporate structure with a board of directors and commission who give the final say on potential hits and major moves that were made in public. So playing as a character that experiences this transition and key moments from history of the Mafia and the early years of the American Mafia itself would be super interesting. Number 3, a chapter-based story and a linear mission structure. Now obviously one of Mafia 3's biggest weaknesses was its mission structure and empty open world. 2K and Take-Two Interactive wanted the game to rival Grand Theft Auto by offering the player an open world, freedom to pursue each mission to suit your playstyle, which in theory is what we all want. But with a lack of resources and time of development, it just showcased how basic the level design actually was and further highlighted the root of this game's problems. So honestly, I'd love an open world that could compete with the others like The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2 and more, yet I personally think it's a little unrealistic with this studio. I believe the Mafia series is better suited to a linear mission structure in a world that's detailed and has a lot of atmosphere. Therefore, a strict gameplay structure that allows for some memorable set-piece moments that come from cutscenes and gameplay itself. And 2K Check and Hangar 13 are much more suited towards this as it helps feed the narrative. The trend in open world games right now is to make them 100 miles wide, but if done incorrectly, they end up only being an inch deep in terms of things to do outside the story missions. So what we want is a linear mission structure that complements a chapter-based story. That's what the publisher is good at. Look towards games like Bioshock, Spec Ops: The Line, Mafia 1 and 2, some of the most memorable stories in video games for me have been strict in terms of their mission structure because everything is focused on telling a compelling story, and that's what we want from Mafia 4. And number 4, a collective story. Now, Mafia 3 in particular felt like one character's story. They included personalities like Vito, Scaletta, Cassandra, Thomas Burke, Father James and John Donovan, and so on, who each helped our main protagonist on his own personal revenge plot. Yet they sat in their specific districts for almost the entirety of the game, and it felt like they were minor parts in Lincoln Clay's story, driving from A to B alone and only having a selection of missions that included each of these side characters led to the game feeling rather lonely. It wasn't the dysfunctional family that was promoted before launch. Their impact felt limited, and their overall influence throughout the game led to a real lack of meaning in regards to their role, which was another departure from the series. Mafia 2, we spent the majority of the game with either Joe or Henry, leading to a feeling of this being our story. We made it. So a story that orbits around a family, friends, siblings, a father, mother, and son trying to make a name for themselves within the city. But having a collective story gives the main protagonist and the player a feeling that they have something to lose during this story. Being accompanied by various members of the protagonist's family during each mission would be more memorable. Present choices to either help the family and their legacy or help yourself. So what we want is a collective story that follows a mafia family, a group of characters. Number 5, add small details and customization. Now, instead of focusing on taking popular features from other games like the wiretap ability / eagle vision from Assassin's Creed, whistling to attract enemies, re-add small features that are unique to Mafia and the timeline itself. Strip back the HUD and ensure it's less modern like Mafia 3 was for some reason, and have in-depth clothing and car customization so we can tailor the protagonist to our liking. The option of entering bars and drinking, eating at restaurants, gambling at casinos, shopping in clothing stores, and being able to create a custom outfit from specific shoes to match pants, suit jackets, just full freedom to alter the outfit from the ground up instead of preset outfits. Offer some minor gun customization, being able to visit a barber and select different haircuts and facial hair. We want the world to be filled with small details like this, not large empty spaces with closed doors, just so the marketing team can promote this game as being massive, 5 times bigger than any other Mafia game. Number 6, a complete single player experience. So ignore the temptation to create an online component to the game. The narrative, the open world, the minute-to-minute gameplay is all potentially hampered if the development team is being pushed to create a multiplayer experience. Unless you're Rockstar and have like 5 teams working on your game for like 7 years. So the series is and always should be single player only. A strong narrative within a detailed world during a unique time and place, and simple as we want it to remain that way. Don't get any multiplayer shit into our Mafia. Also, here are some honorable mentions in regards to what not to do with Mafia 4. Number 1, do not change the Mafia formula again. Distancing the future title from the original game's style and themes would be a mistake. Number 2, don't spoil the game before release with an obscene amount of story trailers. If the best aspect of your Mafia game is its story, then why spoil 90% of the plot? Number 3, do not release an unfinished game and force the development team to meet a deadline. Speaks for itself, really. But yeah, that is the end of what we want part 1. Now, this video isn't just about what we want, meaning Taylor and I. This is about what we all want. The comments of this video hopefully will be used by you guys, the Mafia community or Mafia lovers, to express your personal desires for a potential Mafia 4. So let us know what you want, because from what we know, this game isn't even in the works, or if it is, it's very early development. But if enough people talk about the series, it breathes life back into it and shows 2K Games and Hangar 13 we want Mafia 4. So hopefully our comment section can become somewhat of an idea pool that 2K or whoever develops the next game can come to and think, hey, that's a decent comment and a good idea, we'll use that. So write your opinion, no matter how long, we'll read it. But as always guys, thank you so much for watching. We're going to do some more fun Mafia things on here, just to keep our dreams of another Mafia game alive. Don't let it die. But for more content like this, stay tuned here on AAA Digest. Make Mafia great again, please 2K. That's all I want.
Is everything excellent?